안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-wa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-trends, K-people, K-everything. And we'll do that with our co-host Walter Lee in the studio. Hello, Walter.
Hello, Soa, and hello, everyone at home. This is Walter Lee here to co-host the Culture Wave. I have all the latest in the world of K-entertainment news just for you.
Wow, Walter, I didn't expect that, but I guess this has got to do with our big topic today, right?
Yes, that's indeed right. It looks like we're going to do all kinds of dance moves today, or talk about dance moves anyway.
Exactly, because our keywords today actually are K-pop dance, choreography, and copyright. So, but that is going to come up in a bit. Before that, let's start off with K-Enter news today, Walter. So,
quick start.
We will start off with a K-movie.
Yes.
And it seems that one film is doing very exceptionally well overseas. Which one is it?
Yes, so today's film is The Dark Nun. Now, a story of two nuns who perform a forbidden ritual to save a boy from a possessed, powerful, evil spirit. Now, it stars Song Hye-kyo as well as Chon Yo-bin and has been seeing global box office success already. Now, it was released in January 24th. Now, the film has surpassed its break-even point of 1.6 million viewers domestically, which is great, and has also exceeded 1 million viewers in Indonesia. And additionally, it has remained #1 spot at the box office in the Philippines for 2 consecutive weeks since its release. Now, the film continues to spread across the world, having been released in continents such as North America, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar. Now, it is also set to be released in Singapore and Malaysia on February 13th, and this is also followed by Vietnam on February 21st.
So, it looks like the movie is especially doing well in Southeast Asian countries. And if we still have Singapore, Malaysia, and Vietnam, where the movie is still yet to be released, we might be seeing even higher box office figures in the coming weeks.
Let's
hope for that. And now we're going to move on to some news about New Jeans, or should I say NJZ. I'm a little confused because I remember how Bella introduced us to this new name of the group. So what's new?
That's correct. So you said it. So we are talking about NJZ, or are we talking about New Jeans? That's the thing that is shaking up the K-pop world at the moment. Now, the girl group are still embroiled in this lawsuit with record label Adore over contractual issues. Now, on Monday, Adore issued a statement to the media saying something to the effect of, on February 7th, the New Jeans members announced plans to promote under a group name that was not agreed upon with Adore, that being obviously their new name. Adore urged media outlets to use the official name New Jeans, which is based on a legal, valid contract. Now, they added the exclusive contracts between New Jeans and members of Adore remain legally valid. So, as far as we know, technically, under their contract, they are still New Jeans, but New Jeans or NJZ want to have a new name.
I guess this is going to be an issue that we're going to continue to talk about so that the fans know how they should call their favorite group.
I know.
But Walter, we're now going to move on to another girl group which has never changed their name before because they haven't debuted yet. It's Hearts to Hearts.
Yes, they haven't debuted yet, but there is news coming up. SM Entertainment's new girl group, Hearts to Hearts, has unveiled their teaser image of their debut single. Now, on Monday, the teaser image for their first single, The Chase, was released through the Hearts to Hearts official social media accounts. Now, you should be able to see the teaser images on the screen now, as you can see the wonderful group there. Now, The Chase is set to be released just a couple of weeks away on the 24th of February at 6 p.m. sharp. Now, it has a total of just 2 tracks, the title track and debut song, The Chase, along with the B-side track Butterflies, so we can't wait to see that.
Neither can I. And lastly, a touching gesture made by a member of Stray Kids.
Yes, now we talked about Stray Kids yesterday and how they're breaking records. Now, one of those members, Arirang, a member of the boy group Stray Kids, donated 100 million Korean won. That's roughly around 68,000 US dollars to Samsung Medical Center in celebration of his birthday, which was February 8th, just past Saturday. Now, according to the hospital on Monday, the donation made by Arirang will be used to cover medical expenses for pediatric cancer patients from underprivileged families receiving treatment at Samsung Medical Center. Now, known for his continuous philanthropic efforts, Arirang was appointed as the youngest ever member at the age of 23 last year of the Green Noble Club. Now, this is an exclusive donor society of the Child Fund Korea for individuals who have contributed donations exceeding that 100 million Korean won mark. So, absolutely beautiful news to hear from that area.
And it's absolutely beautiful to end on that note.
Yes.
And Walter, please stick around for our further discussions.
Yes, we will.
And now we move on to other culture-related news with our AI anchor, Ari.
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. Korea's iconic Cherry Blossom Festival, 진해 군항제, will kick off on March 28th in the southern city of Changwon-in, Gyeongsang-namdo Province. Visitors can immerse themselves in a picturesque floral wonderland while enjoying the festival's signature events, such as a military band and honor guard performance, the Admiral Lee Sun-shin Memorial Ceremony, a multimedia fireworks show, and the Black Eagles Air Show. This year, it will also feature the Cherry Blossom Music Festival for the first time. Changwon City is expanding its global outreach to accommodate more foreign visitors, securing TV broadcasts, interpretation booths, and cruise ship operations along the Jinhae coastline. Seoul City plans to host a range of cultural events this year at Bukchon Hanok Village. The Bukchon Cultural Center will feature a monthly program called Bukchondora, offering immersive cultural experiences that reflect Korea's seasonal traditions, history, and heritage. Highlights include traditional crafts, pop-up libraries, yoga sessions, and year-round exhibitions showcasing K-living and Hanok culture. In October, Bukchon Day will be celebrated with Hanok workshops, Hanok camps, and guided alleyway tours led by local residents. On February 19th, the musical Once will make its return to the domestic stage after a 10-year hiatus. Based on the beloved film known for hit songs like Falling Slowly, the production will be a replica of the original musical, preserving the music, choreography, and other key elements. The musical first premiered in Korea in 2014, with a follow-up performance the following year. Co-director Connor Hanratty highlighted that unlike the original film's quiet atmosphere, the stage version will feature more dynamic and energetic scenes. That's all from me. Keep it tuned to the Culture Wave.
The popularity of K-pop goes beyond just its songs, with its dance elements also a key factor. But the choreography generally does not have proper copyrights. Last year, prominent figures in the dance industry gathered to set up an association to protect these rights. Ian Jin tells us more.
Choreography in the K-pop scene ranges from the soft to sharply angled group dance movements. Recently, there was great popularity for dance cover performances by military soldiers on a K-4 special show TV program. They are no idols, and without singing a single verse, their dance cover has gained a high number of views. High interest in K-pop choreography is not a new phenomenon. There are fans from abroad who come to Korea to learn from Korean choreographers.
For instance, in France, it's just about music, but here in Korea, it's about music and dance, and I feel like it adds just so much. The whole performance is just another level, and I think it's just super nice and fun.
But even with the global K-dance craze, Returns for the choreographers behind the dance sequences have not changed over many years. They are indeed the creators, but not copyright holders. A survey of some 90 choreographers in Korea showed that only around 2% of them have ever held a copyright. That's because there's a long-standing practice regarding this in the industry. It is common for choreographers to sign contracts that include a special agreement condition to hand over the rights of their choreography to the party using it, which is usually an entertainment agency.
Even for me, it's not easy to ask, can you take this clause out? It's been such a long-standing practice.
For young choreographers, they are often not even given the chance to contemplate the conditions of copyright.
I myself can't be proud because the reality is that I've signed contracts without having such knowledge.
This is why last year, choreographers gathered to launch an association to protect copyright. Their first step was carrying out promotional activity to establish that choreography is also subject to copyright. In line with this, the government also began a system reorganization of legal concepts surrounding this issue. Based on research and case studies, the government plans to release copyright guidelines and standard contracts accordingly this year.
There is a hidden effort by choreographers behind the growth of K-pop. I hope that a social atmosphere is established where these choreographers' efforts and their value are recognized.
Major Korean entertainment agencies have said they would follow the copyright guidelines and standard contracts set out by the government. And this gives hope to those that have worked hard for years for an era of copyright in choreography. 이은진, Arirang News.
Right. While K-pop dance is praised for its powerful synchronized moves and is fun to cover on social media, copyright issues can give headaches to those behind the creation of K-pop dance or choreographies. We now want to delve deeper into this matter with an expert. We are connected to Dr. Oh Joo-yeon, professor of dance theory at the School of Music and Dance at San Diego State University. Hello, Dr. Oh.
Hi, Dr. Oh.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us on the program. Now, the global interest in K-pop is seeing no signs of waning, and it's not just the songs themselves, but K-pop dance plays a huge factor in the popularity of K-pop singers and groups. How much does dance contribute to the popularity of K-pop in your view?
So I think K-pop may not be K-pop without dance. It is highly visualized music. And as you know, K-pop idols have been trained in multiple dance styles from street, ballet, and even modern dance. K-pop also has an unprecedented scale of dance fandom globally. And they not just listening to music, but they are actively producing performance like a cover dance. And I think K-pop is now as big as hip-hop and jazz, even in education, as exemplified by the first K-pop courses I teach here at San Diego State University.
Now, Dr. O, I'm a 90s kid, 80s kid, 90s kid, and I loved my boy bands back in the day. Backstreet Boys as well as NSYNC, and I used to dance along to them, and they had their own dance. But what makes K-pop dance K-pop dance, and are there any characteristics or distinctions that can define K-pop dance?
So as I explained in my book, K-pop dance, K-pop is first characterized by the polished idols, spectacular and synchronous group choreography. But first of all, K-pop is largely choreographed to be circulated on social media. So unlike traditional theater, K-pop lasts a couple minutes, or the iconic scene would last a couple seconds, and it is intentionally designed to look best for the two-dimensional camera screen. And as follows, the second characteristic is what I call gestural point choreography. It highlights the various facial expression and also delicate gesture of the upper body, from the use of hair to fingers. And it makes K-pop dance really easy to recognize and remember on the smallest stage, which is the smartphone screen. So the audience can memorize, copy, and even perform the choreography easily, which again eventually contribute to the popularity again. But I think above all, the true beauty of K-pop dance is that it changes all the time. And I have tremendous respect to the choreographers and their hard work. And it continuously evolve and also expand its boundary. So I think no characteristic could be the characteristic of K-pop dance because it changes all the time.
Very interesting, and I especially like the part about the gestural point choreography, because that reminded me of our thing, the culture wave.
Yes,
that
yes.
could also be seen as a gestural point choreography,
We need
right?
to copyright that quickly.
Oh, we should, Walter. Good point there. Now, Dr. Oh, despite the immense popularity and impact of K-pop, there is little awareness about copyright issues regarding choreographies, and also the recent choreography dispute between New Jeans and Jay-Z and Islet is a good example. And as we saw in our earlier report, only around 2% of choreographers have registered their choreographic work with the country's Copyright Commission. So why are we seeing such a low level of awareness, Dr. Oh?
Yeah, so awareness on choreography copyright has been low because, first of all, choreography is not a single movement, but a combination of multiple, such as music, lighting, prop, costume, movement, and even the dancer's unique style. So it is unclear to what extent a choreography holds a copyright if one of these elements changes. But what's even more complicated is that a single movement can actually hold a copyright if it is iconic. Let's say Michael Jackson's moonwalk or the crying hand gesture in Twice's TT. Those movements stand out visually in a perfect harmony with the music and themes, and also symbolize the entire song or even the group's identity. And in that case, the movement should be protected no matter how short they are. And there's also a general barrier in registering copyright, because dancing is really hard to fix because it's done by living human body. So if it's hard to fix, it's hard to register. Choreography can also change anytime, even on stage, perhaps a dancer's condition or the choreographer's last minute guidance. And plus, the choreography process is actually quite collaborative. Audience, choreographer, and dancers, they exchange their ideas and give feedback. And in that case, it's hard to say who gets the final credit. But I think nowadays, choreography is a financial capital. It makes money. So I think it's really time to change.
It is interesting that it looks like the time doesn't really matter when it comes to copyright issues regarding dance, because when we have songs, the time I think does matter, like the seconds of how much something seems to be plagiarized or not.
And what else is very interesting is that Dr. mentioned as well is the fact that each concert could be a little bit different. They could tweak the move just a little bit and it could change the move completely. It could be, you know, from concert to concert, it could be completely different, even though it's somewhat the same move, but just a little bit different, just to change just a little bit of the move, right? But choreography, Doctor, is choreography copyright is not just very well recognized overseas either, as I've probably heard, but there have been small steps towards its recognition in Korea. Now, can you tell us about this progress and how can we better assess choreography copyright? What kind of efforts need to be done and by whom to protect choreographers' original works?
Yeah, so there has been indeed progress, especially since Psy Gangnam Style and the increasing number of foreign choreographer industry. But I think in general, the social media and the internet play a role, because on social media, we can actually fix choreography as a moving image, and it is really easy to archive, access, and even compare whether it's the same or not, and even trace the origin, because we can find the date and time when the video is uploaded. So I think to better protect copyright, the most important thing is actually ethics. I know it's really hard to pin down, but choreographers, they do know what references they studied, even if they do not publicly recognize or publicly say. But the thing is that if they do not protect others' work, their work will not be protected either. And I think the K-pop agencies also need to think about a long-term plan, because copying a successful model, because it's been proven, it could look like a shortcut, but eventually it can harm the industry because no one wants to see the same style performance over and over again. So I think if they have to copy at least a section or some ideas, I think at least in a personal level, they can actually give a recognition to the artist whom they are inspired by. They may say, at least in an interview, XYZ was a role model, and this person has been inspired by this choreography. I know it's really hard, but in that case, we can actually create a better atmosphere, because copyright is not, of course, maybe AI can detect copyright like music or writing in the future, but choreography is made by human. So we need to respect those artists, and giving a recognition, I think, is the first step to solve those issues legally.
Yes, recognition, respect. It does look like we do need a lot of efforts from here on. But it has also been pointed out that if K-pop choreography copyrights are expanded too much, I don't know if we can say too much in this case, but it could stifle choreography creation and even hinder cover dancing. What do you think about this concern? Is it a reasonable concern?
I personally think no need to worry about that, because there's a long way to go. And what's important is that we do not claim copyright for basic movement. Let's say toe work in ballet, aggressive gesture in hip hop, or let's say in K-pop, there's always like alluring hand gesture in girl group or hip thrust in boy group. These are basic vocabularies, so we don't apply copyright to those basic movements. However, as I mentioned earlier, if it's iconic and if it's built on new, fresh ideas, they need to be protected. Regarding cover dancing, I think it's almost like a karaoke. We do not prohibit karaoke because the songs are copyrighted. And K-pop cover dancing and dance challenge is also a leisure and social activity that makes the goal very clear. They make the origin very clear, and there's no intention to infringe copyright. So I think copyright only helps the artist to have a fair competition. So I think there's no need to worry about that issue.
It looks like I can continue with my cover dances on my social media, Dr. Oh. And any final thoughts to share with the audience and the K-pop fans as well as the artists?
Yes, as a person teaching and researching K-pop in the United States, it's really clear that no matter what, no matter how big or small issues there in the industry, K-pop does represent the South Korean culture. Let's say it is arguably the most successful music and dance of the nation. So I do hope that K-pop artists and agency work together like an Olympic team instead of fighting against each other, because what they do or what they present will be remembered and even witnessed by the global audience.
So it looks like for K-pop to grow even further around the world, it needs a lot of cooperation among the K-pop artists here in Korea. So thank you very much, Professor Oh or Dr. Oh, for sharing your insights with us today.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
And thank you, Walter, as always. And we'll see you back here tomorrow on Wednesday.
I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll try not to dance too much tomorrow.
Oh, please do so. We'd love to see more of your dance moves. And thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave, and hope you join us again on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Korea time, and maybe one day here in Korea.